points, like you said, 6 plays against 75. We're talking less than a second, 5.57, just under 6/10 of a second. And that's the difference between sprinting to the finish line with the athlete in back. Oh. Salt Lake City CrossFit Gold. They might be in the basket for the team from backcountry lab.
How about this group though? For the Ohio Brutes, you cannot say enough about what they had to overcome this week, but even stretching back, coming further than that. The Ohio Brutes last year, everyone in their season cut short on the team side. They were all set to go to Germany last year. They had qualified as the #1 team in that event. So they're thinking last year, they're going to the games, and it's like all teams taken away from them. And then they come out here and do what they did this week. And look at the difference. Let's take pictures, let's celebrate, and let's cross our fingers and hope.
Oh man, this is one of the magical moments here in this format. You know, we got to see it a few years ago at regionals. Teams just anxiously awaiting the announcement. We have the cut line, we know what's at stake now. Now it's just a waiting game. Tremendous performance from backcountry flag on the final day. You know, they ceded some ground, you know, in that first event. They came out swinging. One more.
And such a difference in the stories of these gyms. Blue City is a fairly new gym. Stephen Wallace putting his gym together in just the last couple of years. You gotta look at the Ohio Brutes. That Blue City group actually started in different facilities until they could fund having their own space and find having their own space. You compare to Backcountry Black, who's been to the games many times before, but this is a brand new team. You know, Heather Gamble is the veteran of it, and it's 3 movies, a true Philly Cup style, putting pieces together. And that's the beauty of this, is because everyone has such a different background, and then we throw them all in the same pot and say, let's see what happens.
That's the dynamic nature of the Ability Cup. Getting 4 individual athletes to work as a single unit, and you know, there's name recognition. Push it back down.
3,
another
2,
variation of
1.
individual men's push pull to show up in 2014, one of the iconic CrossFit Games events, the Multiple Lights in the tennis stadium. We noticed that the post bar reps are always double of what the strict case is.
Late assignments here in this first team, we only had 8 women competing. That's because Christine Best withdrew after the rough run yesterday morning. And then Beck Reardon had a knee scope done this past October, and that started to act up on her again this weekend. So then Reardon also withdrew yesterday. That leaves us with 2 vacant lanes. Lanes 9 and 10. Here's the set for equal. Everybody's talked about post-war time this weekend. I think it's one of the events that people have been maybe most excited for. You used the word iconic. What is it about this event that resonates so deeply in the hearts of CrossFit fans?
I hate to steal a trope from the mainstream sports, but you can't really tell the story of the CrossFit Games without this particular event, right? You know, back in 2014 when it showed up, 2 athletes had very different turnaround points in this event specifically. Rich Running was battling back from a huge deficit. This was the event where he retook the lead in dramatic fashion, going toe-to-toe with Josh Bridges, and a classic Josh Bridges celebration. And then Rikara Saunders, who was she was leading the CrossFit Games. This was the event where it all came kind of crumbling down, and ultimately she had to withdraw due to an injury that was in her neck and her shoulders. And it just kind of showed up here in a big way. So we got 2 major performances on both sides of the spectrum centered around this event in particular. And of course, it was on the biggest stage that night at the CrossFit Games at the Stuff Up Center, where really the legend of CrossFit Games was born.
Vinny is the official recovery member. You can already see over to the toast bar on the left of your screen. That's Chelsea Hughes.
You can see probably Lucas starting to really arch heavily. Really what she's trying to do at this point is the shoulders are starting to rotate. She's trying to recruit any any sort of musculature, and by arching a little bit, you get the chest and the pecs and bones a little bit more.
Well, she does finish successfully, so now on to the toes bar. We're recruiting a lot of different muscles in a lot of different ways. What hurts the most? What is getting the most attention?
But definitely the traps and the biceps. Those are exactly the biggest muscles to be basically present in the entirety of your body weight over there.
And they don't really have rhythm.
As those start to break down, your positioning starts to break down as well. You start to lose your midline stability, and the core is what starts to go in. You see that arch start to build as well.
Chelsea Hughes in lane one, able to make it to the full tank for the pull portion. And you can see there was a D-ball inside the tank that is, it adds a little bit of weight, but it also, something you talked about yesterday, eliminates the ability for you to lift the tank off the ground and push, eliminating some of the resistance.
Yeah, making sure that the core wheels stay into the ground means you're going to get the full brunt of that magnetic resistance on this torque tank. We've talked about it before, traditional sleds, the resistance you get the friction, right? The weight that's on the sled and the surface is being pulled off. You know, there's some variables within that. For here now you have a mechanical resistance. It's standardized across the board, and it's a nice way to incorporate sled movements within competition that's inside where you have to really move forward.
This is a 60-foot push and pull, so blue line to second blue line.
And you notice that these athletes are with their shoulders propped up against the palms here. They're just utilizing that center of their mass, drive the sled, and let their arms rest alongside of it to hopefully save a little gas for these strict handcuffs and handstand push-ups.
Alex Willis in lane 4. Alex is in as well. In lane 4. Back to the handstand push-ups for just a couple of reps. In lane 3 right next to her is Carly Lucas, and we watched her much tonight.
3, 2, 1. So far, Alex Willis looking really good. You can see her pressing position when she lowers down. Her head comes a little bit off of the center pinwheel. You notice that she's kind of got this hand over hand style.
3, 2, 1.
Athletes
Okay.
do nice big pulls where they're going to get their legs and hips into it. You see them a lot in that traditional sled because you get some a little bit of momentum built up and it'll slide even after you're done pulling. You don't get that here. With this sled, the minute it stops completely. You don't get any rollover because of the nature of the magnetic resistance.
It's basically the echo bike to the salt bike.
100%.
We have 9 minutes left to go, and there's a 17-minute time cap event. Willis continues to drive here. And now push.
It should be noted that the variations between this and when it showed up at the games in 2014 didn't have a sled push. Athletes would just have to walk their rope out to where the finish line is and then pull. And actually had some sandbags to anchor their feet off of. And there wasn't any toes to bar in this event the first time around, so a little wrinkle added by the programmers here to kind of beef it up.
For a special offer from FitAid, visit drinkfitaid.com, the official recovery beverage of the CrossFit Games. 8 minutes left. All past the halfway mark. There are 6 of 7 events for the women. Our first of 3 heats, and it continues to be the Alex Willis show. Tell me, she's around all of the people because talk about who she hangs out with and living in Vegas. Reagan Huckabee was one of the not into CrossFit. So, like, if you were really good and notable and famous in this semifinal, Alex has tried to pick your brain.
That's one of the benefits some of the younger athletes have had. You know, now we're getting athletes like Willis and Pepper that have spent 6-7 years training, not necessarily to compete, but just the fitness methodology. You can really lean on some of the forebears of this sport tap into that knowledge base.
And now it's weird because you get to compete with your idols in these things. And Willis, you can see it on her face how
future goal? What did the franchise need to maybe try and catch up and do behind you and compete with the next echelon of athletes?
Chelsea Hughes is now your leader on the field with Willis having finished. When we talk about the relationship with Brandon Huckabee, Willis finishes second. Chelsea Hughes is the next best right now. He at 45 years of age. Both on the same platform. That's really cool.
Just a few years ago, Chelsea Hughes was an individual games athlete herself, qualifying in 2017. She's also competing on the team as well, part of that great CrossFit crew back in the day. She has had a long career in this sport.
Chelsea Hughes is the second to finish unofficially in 13:44. But we're starting to see a handful of other ladies move on to pulling the total team. Caroline is on the left. Joining us from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Holly Henderson owns her own box down in Jackson, Mississippi. They are very closely starting to work together in one lane on the floor.
Competitor in the sport, multiple appearances at regionals, a couple of top 10 finishes back in the day in the Atlanta.
First time she's ever been to Vegas. And she's third here in the heat. She's been at Bahrain. Not Vegas.
Very different places.
Or depending on where you walk on the strip, you might think. This is Chelsea Espy. 30 seconds left in the count.
1.
Good learning experience for Chelsea Espy. Her husband is moved. They run the Atlantic CrossFit Challenge. Been around competitions like this for a long time. And she was honest with us. She said, as an individual, I'm not there yet. As a team athlete, yes, that's what she's used to, but this is all about measuring herself. So,
every time I hear the broadcast how she wanted to go team with the 12 Raiders crew, but because of Lucha profession in the military, they had to go around a lot, so she wasn't in the same location as the 12 Raiders team. They had to go individual, but good experience. And get through quarterfinals, get into the semifinal event. They're getting some valuable time on the competition floor.
Alex Lewis dominates in her valuable time on the competition floor. A minute better than the rest of the field. 19 years old. This sport's about to get scary. One of our 3 heats down here in the penultimate event for the women at the West Coast Classic. We'll reset the field. We need 10 more athletes to talk about when they come on back to Las Vegas next. We are high and top here at the Orleans Arena. You know Tommy Marquez. My name is Joel Cadet. You also know this guy. Justin Burke joins us. He is the Vice President of Sport and Partnerships at CrossFit. Welcome to Las Vegas.
It's good to be here, Dad.
What is this like for you to come back out here and experience what is for so many people so familiar?
It feels great. I think this has been such an uncertain year, and coming off of last year and then we're in the finals at the ranch, without spectators, it's just a breath of fresh air into the whole community to see this type of energy and excitement starting to come back to the sport.
And this is the first year of semifinals. Now in the last week, what are the initial, feedback from you on how these 4 weeks have gone so far?
I think it's been great. You got to judge it based on the season that we're in. We started off thinking maybe 10 events would go, and now only 5 were able to go in person. And for those 5 that have done that, they've done awesome.
Let's take a look at where we go from here for this particular event. It is the push-pull revisited. For ladies, starts with the strict deficit handstand push-ups, 9 and 18. The reps ascending and the sled pull and push in between. Tommy, this is back from 2014, but it's tweaked.
Yeah, we got a little